Can white people join the Black Panthers? I think we're ready. The whole reason we are in this mess is because white people weren't even ready to vote for a black woman or get rid of the KKK. And here we are, where you all still want to hide behind the bodies of minorities instead of do anything yourself. Men are the only group that still mostly support ICE, and you know that group is fucking bolstered up by white people. Have you ever read about White Panthers or read a book in I'm losing my fucking mind.
So now everybody want to join the Black Panther Party. Why am I seeing white folks ask if they can join the Black Panther Party? Because for what? Answer me this. The Black Panther Party for self-defense. Who do you think the Black Panthers were defending themselves from? Quickly. And also, one of the strongest tenets of the Black Panther Party for self-defense was education. The fact that a lot of y'all were just in my comments just days ago telling me that you didn't learn about the Underground Railroad, which means I'm sure you don't know a damn thing about the Sinclair brothers. Like, do y'all think the Black Panther Party was a social club and like King T'Challa is gonna come out the back?
So, I'm seeing videos of white people asking if they can join the Black Panther Party. And I'm wondering, why are you guys so interested in whatever is going on in the black people? Why are you guys so interested in whatever is going on in the black community? Like, I'm trying to wrap my head around it. Why are you so interested in whatever is going on with the black people? Instead of you guys channeling that energy in building your own communities, in trusting your own people, in building something that you guys can always, grow together, and all of that. Why are you always so interested in whatever the black people are doing? I'm black, yeah? Imagine meeting the Hispanic people, for instance, and telling them I want to join their community, I want to join their groups, whatever it is they're doing together, I want to be a part of it. I have no business in their community. I have no business joining whatever groups they are, having. Like, that's common knowledge. Why are the whites always interested in whatever it is that the blacks are doing? Anyways, let's get into the clips I've put together for you guys, and I'll be right back.
White women asking if they can join the Black Panthers is because they don't trust whiteness either. Because instead of doing the hard work, the uncomfortable work of organizing their own people, they want to attach themselves to black movements that have been in existence long before they realized that the country was on fire. That's not solidarity. That's outsourcing responsibility. Because the Black Panthers are not a costume. It's not some little club that you can apply to when fascism gets too loud and scary for y'all. The Black Panthers were a response, a direct response to white violence in America. It was a response to white law enforcement, white supremacy, and state neglect. The Black Panthers fed children when the state starved them. The Black Panthers armed themselves because they were being hunted by the law. They built community for black people because white America kept burning it down. Because if you don't trust your own white communities enough to organize and build movements with them, why should black people trust you to come into ours? Mistrust doesn't just magically disappear when you cross racial lines. If anything, it deepens. And just so y'all know, black spaces are not rehab centers for whiteness. We are not here to absolve you or absorb your guilt, your fear, or your political awakening. Why aren't y'all out here creating white-led community accountability circles where y'all actually face and deconstruct your racism and anti-blackness? Why ain't y'all building community patrols that stop white men from becoming threats? Why don't y'all organize against white supremacists where the white supremacists actually live, like next door to y'all? It's like blackness for y'all has always been a moral shortcut. Y'all attach yourselves to it and y'all feel you're absolved of sins. Y'all stand next to blackness and suddenly you feel brave. But I'm sorry, liberation don't work like that. Real allyship, it's not glamorous. It's not an aesthetic. It doesn't get thank yous. It's not done for the gram or for the... And it happens away from black people, not in front of us. And the Black Panthers didn't ask white people to join. They asked them to fix their own house. If your house is on fire, you don't go and move in with your neighbor's house. You put that fire out. That is the work we need y'all to do. Take care of your house. Your house is on fire, and that fire is affecting our houses, our neighborhood. So put it out. Why don't y'all want to be in community with each other? Because it's a good question.
Can white people join the Black Panthers? I think we ready. What if I told you there was an organization that was specifically started for white people that supported the Black Panthers, but didn't want to interlope in what the Black Panthers were doing when it came to black liberation? They were called the Wh1te Panthers. They were an anti-racist collective that was founded in 1968. Their founders were Pple, Lenny, and John Sinclair. It was started because Huey P. Newton was asked what white people can do to support the Black Panthers, and his answer was to start a similar organization to stand with them. The group was deeply rooted in counterculture, rock and roll, marijuana legalization, free love, and psychedelic consciousness. They were based mostly in Detroit, and they had a chapter in Ann Arbor, Michigan, Seattle, and San Francisco. Similar to the Black Panther Party, they had a 10-point manifesto that was rooted in freedom, justice, and the abolition of oppressive systems. They also believed in free food, free land, free education, and free media for all people. Similar to the Black Panthers, the United States government got involved and said that they were conspiring to destroy government property. Two of their leaders, Don Plomadon and John Sinclair, got arrested, and they took their case all the way to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court ruled that the Fourth Amendment shielded private conversation from surveillance unless a warrant had been granted. Sinclair and Plomadon were freed, but the effects of both imprisonment and the cost of the court cases led to the end of the Wh1te Panthers. They later changed their name to the Rainbow People's Party, but were disbanded in 1973.
Can white people join the Black Panthers? I think we ready. No.
Excuse me, guys? Can white people join the Black Panthers? I think we are ready. Did you not read the part where it said Black Panthers? Like, are colonizers gonna colonize? Because that's what you guys always want to fucking do. It's so fucking exhausting. White people see a movement going on. Then they're like, oh, I want to get on board. I want to do that. Then they do what they do best, impose their will upon others, and then quickly the movement becomes theirs because they're going to end up hijacking it. So in the year 2026, once again, we're going to say, white people, you are going to have to fix this on your own. You are not going to be able to join no Black Panthers. You are not going to be able to be part of the black movement because when you guys join these movements, you hijack it. You make it your own. And then not only that, you start patronizing people and be like, oh, you're not educated, are you? Well, let me educate you then. And it's like, we're sick of the bullshit. We see what you do. And quite honestly, I saw what you did with the Palestine movement. So please stay the fuck away from Black people movement going forward.
So today, this new Black Panther Party comes across my FYP, and the supposed chairman of the chapter in Philadelphia, he's standing outside with this long gun, and he's saying all of what he won't let ICE do in his neighborhood, and also having interactions with the local police department, telling them that he's protecting the community. But one thing I want to know, when it comes to him, I'm not sure if he's black or not, but men like him and other black men. How come y'all don't have the same vigor towards the YNs that are knocking people down in the hood every day? How come y'all don't have this same forcefulness towards the men that are in the community selling poison to our people, unaliving them daily? Because last I checked, in Philadelphia, they got a whole city full of zombies. So before we can talk to ICE, before we can talk about the establishment, let's talk about policing our neighborhoods from the people who are within it, who are causing the most destruction. Some black folks were already nervous about going outside in the hood, and that was before ICE showed up. Let's deal with those problems first. Because for men to have this much force towards the establishment and don't say shit to the people that are doing the most damage in our own neighborhoods. Until you start there,
I'm just gonna assume that this is all performative.
I'm seeing a lot of misinformation going around about the Black Panther Party and white membership, so hopefully I can clear it up. But the idea that the Panthers didn't allow white members is misleading. And I think people are mixing up the Black Panther Party with other groups like SNCC and the Black Liberation Army. And I think they're doing that by accident. But those groups and organizations did limit or reject white membership. And honestly, that made sense for what they were trying to do and accomplish around that time. Now, SNCC even had white members at first, but by 1966, they moved away from that idea because they were more starting to focus on black self-determination and black liberation. The Black Panthers, on the other hand, was different. The Panthers believed in the Rainbow Coalition, which meant people of different races, different groups, and different cultures could be involved and join. But that didn't mean anyone can just join for vibes. It was about having shared politics and not skin color alone. And I agree with that approach, but with caution. I feel like anyone who wants to work with the Black Panthers needs to be politically serious, very serious. I mean, you can't just show up and say that you're an ally, because it doesn't work like that. You need to be able to understand racism, capitalism, and imperialism. You also need to be educated on slavery, Jim Crow, redlining, segregation, mass incarceration, and how all of that still shapes life today for Black people. You need to be educating yourself, and don't expect Black people to hold your hand and educate you. The Black Panthers also encourage white people to organize their own movements in their own communities with similar values, and then they can come together and work in coalition. And that matters, but solidarity doesn't mean taking over Black spaces or speaking for Black people. I'm going to say that again. Solidarity doesn't mean taking over Black spaces or speaking for Black people. It means respecting Black leadership and actually following it. So yeah, coalition only works when power is respected and politics are clear. Anything else just recreates the same problems under a new name.
What is this about white people wanting to join the Black Panthers? What? No. When I said y'all need to come together and build community, that is not what I meant. I was talking, you need to start from scratch, okay? Build your own version of the Black Panthers for your community, like the Karen clan or some, well, y'all might want to stay away from clan. But maybe you could take some of the white people names I've thrown on here. I'd be okay with that. Appropriate that with the porcelain posse. What's another one I said? The unpigmented progressives, the sunscreen warriors. Take one of those. You don't need to be in the black. No.
With the Black Immigrant Party, when you have more Wh1te people excited about you than the community that the original Black Panthers like began in terms of trying to support and fight, then you know you done fucked up. Like, you know, you're not on mission, you're not on code, you're not fighting for your ethnic group anymore. You're fighting for the people who are happy to see you. When you have Wh1te, more Wh1te people, I'm about to show this in a second. Look, watch this. You know what's bad? When you go on the Black Panthers post and the most people celebrating them are Wh1te people. That means they've lost sight of, like, they've been infiltrated and they've lost sight of, like, where the grassroots movement is and where the people are. The people are the ethnic Black Americans. That's what the Black Panthers originated fighting and start for. You guys want to be like, oh, well, they had all these other groups, but they had these other groups. They named the other groups, and the other groups were responsible for fighting for their own communities. The issue that I have is, number one, these people were kind of quiet for a while. They were posting, but all of a sudden they blew up as soon as this Wh1te woman gets unalive. But there's police brutality happening in all of our ethnic Black American communities. There's so many things that we need in our own communities, and yet their main focus and their main objective right now, and where they're getting their highlights and where they're like really gung-ho about, is ICE. How come you don't have the Young Lords going out there for ICE? How come you don't have the Yellow Peril going out there for ICE? How come you don't have other groups that the Black Panthers have set up going out to support their people? So YT people are so excited to see him because they're like, oh, now we won't have to be Renee Good anymore. Now we don't have to be scared, because what it is, everybody's scared. Everybody's scared. And everybody's cowards. And they don't want to do anything. And before, when we used to fight, it was we were violent and we were criminals and we were all this stuff. And so now that they're realizing we don't fight, they have to man up or woman up, and they're getting unalive. So now they don't want that. They want us to get unalive. So they want to send us out there. And here comes this Caribbean, second generation Caribbean immigrant, like, oh wow, we'll do it. Let's sign everybody up. Let's sign everybody up. So all of a sudden you're starting to recruit. You're starting to recruit ethnic Black Americans. Don't you dare send your children out to recruit for these people. This is a Democratic operative, or I don't know what it is, but it's not right. I don't even understand how he got 78,000 followers and he's only been posting since like April of last year. And maybe the Black Panther Party is just that lit, but I just am going to be very suspicious if majority of the people celebrating this are YT people. And then after YT people, it's Hispanics. And then they're recruiting nationwide. Y'all better wake up. Like, they are really trying to infiltrate, and they are really trying to create, like, they really are trying to drag us into something that we are not a part of. We have nothing to do with ICE. They need to stand up. Hispanics, Asians, Caribbean people, Africans who are getting deported by ICE, their people who are citizens need to stand up and fight for them. Stop trying to drag us into this. Now, the so-called leader of this Black Panther movement, he is a Caribbean immigrant. And that's fine, but he should say that. Stop cosplaying like you're an ethnic Black American when you're not. Just say, I'm a Caribbean immigrant and this is something that touches my soul and I can relate to this and I'm going to fight for my people. But stop trying to cosplay like you're Black American when you're not. And stop trying to drag us into a fight that's not ours.
Now, my question is, are you Black? No. So what are you doing in the Black Panther group? What exactly do you want to achieve joining the Black Panther Party? I need to understand. The name is the Black Panther Party, not the White Panther Party. Why not join the White Panther Party? You have no business being in the Black Panther Party. I don't know if that makes sense. What business do you have with the Black Panther? None. Like, I'm trying to wrap my head around it. I wish the whites can learn to build their own communities, build their own things, and not depend on the foundation that the blacks have already created. You know, the blacks are always innovative, are always creating things, are always, moving forward, fighting a good cause, and the whites just want to sip in, glide in and feel among, and just, it doesn't work that way, sincerely. Build your own systems, build your own communities. Don't depend on the efforts of the blacks and just try to, join in and feel among and all that. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way, sincerely, because this is not an open party for everyone to join in. It is a black party. You join the white party, do your own things. I don't think the blacks are so interested in the businesses of the whites like they are interested in the businesses of the black. I wish everyone can be on their own lane. They don't need you in their party. Sincerely, they don't need you. And the answer to your question is capital no. I hope that makes sense. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining me on my channel today. And as always, I want to give credit to all the original contents I've used on my channel today. Thank you so much, guys. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel, like and share my videos. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day. Cheers.